what are we going to do with some minor arpeggios? Let's look at the minor 7 arpeggio, and then let's look at the minor 6/9 arpeggio. In gypsy jazz, the minor 6/9 is used more than the minor 7 in terms of a tonic chord. So if we started out with our G minor, that's our basic G minor on this fret, in this area. If you checked out what we did with the G major 7, it's the same position. We're just dropping the third a half step, so it gives us a minor. So obviously the scale here, if we're thinking of a tonic scale, we want to think there's two possibilities. We could be in a natural minor key, which has a G minor 7, which would mean its relative major is B flat. We could also think of ourselves as being in harmonic minor, which is a lot more common in gypsy jazz. And so in that case, we have a different scale source. So listen to both of these scales. That's your natural minor scale, right? Some people call it the Aeolian mode. And now, if you hear the harmonic minor, we've got one note changed. Okay, and that's the 7th. Instead of a flat 7 for the natural minor, you got a natural 7 relative to the G, and it gives you a completely different sound, because when you go from, that note was an F sharp, so F sharp to G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, an F sharp or G flat. Okay, so you have a different sound there, and you've probably heard this a million times, and that seems to come right along with the scale. So gives you a sound, a specific sound. But if we look at the arpeggio within it, we could pull out a few ideas. So let's say we had, we're going to go this. Oops, I hit the wrong note there. And that's the flat third of the G minor, and then to the 5th. This isn't really, in fact, I left out the 3rd again. Okay, that's just your regular, generic G minor, or just a regular minor arpeggio there. That's, could call it a triad. But if we add another note to that, let's say we added the 9th or the 2nd. So we add that, we'll call it the 9th because we're thinking of the chord being a G minor 9. Okay, so if we had, interesting sound, isn't it? And continuing, of course, that gives you that. And that is simply a G, a G9, if you will, arpeggio. Now what about the 6 in there? We've got a 6, that would be a, the 6 is going to be on that one. Well, in the harmonic minor scale, there isn't a 6. There's a flat 6, okay? So where's that 6 going to come in? That comes in from the melodic minor scale. So the melodic minor scale goes, okay, there's your 6. Now, a lot of times that's usually used over substitute chords. and it's referred to as a mode. So a mode of whatever key you're in. So it's not really a practical thing to think of by itself, in and of itself. It's more useful in the context of a substitute for a chord and a scale or a mode. But what we can do with the that note in the context of the minor arpeggio is to have that sixth is to kind of use that as part of our sound. You can hear this. There's the 9. There's the 6. Kind of a pretty good, huh? When you put those together, it sounds really nice. And that's going to work over a G minor 6. Okay, so that's a very helpful and useful arpeggio to get under your fingers, you know. And when you're using this, you could think of it as a substitute also, because again, if you know your harmonized scale, you would know that the notes of a minor 6 chord, in this case we've got the G minor 6, so a G, that's an E, and then we have, what is that, a B flat, a D, and a G there again on top, but we don't have to play the G twice. We can play those 4 notes. Now if you look at that right there, and you look at the notes in there, that E, that D, and that G, or the, although the G is on the bottom I have here. If you take that off and you put that on the top, the G on the top, and you look at that shape, and you notice what the notes are, that works out to be a minor 7 flat 5 chord, okay? Oh, now where does that come in? Well, if you're in a major scale, every minor 7 flat 5 chord is a substitute for a dominant 7th. Okay? Figure that one out. In a minor key, that minor 7 flat 5 shape turns out to be a substitute also for a minor 6 chord. Okay? Here is a minor 7 flat 5 or E minor 7 flat 5 with exactly the same notes. Okay? So what are we missing? What is the difference? This note here. Same thing. You've got the same set of notes, but they're used in a different context. So here's the rule for the substitution. Is when you're on a minor 6 chord, and it's in the key, and it's in a minor, from a minor key, and you're using it as the 1 chord, okay, then you could go to the 6th of that chord, which would, in this case I'm using G, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's the E. You have a minor 7 flat 5. So that will give you the substitution. And so over that, you could end up, you've got that minor 6 or minor 6/9, or straight minor that you can play over the top of that chord. Actually, both chords. So it's fun to rotate between the two. Now, having said that, think of it this way. if you're in a major key, determine what is the tonic chord. So let's go back to our C major thing. So if we were in the key of C major, and I was thinking, well, where can I use that at? Well, this 7 chord is a B minor 7 flat 5. So if there's a B minor 7 flat 5, that means there must be some minor 6 hanging out somewhere. How do you figure that one out? Well, in a major key, if this chord here is the 7th, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to think of going up a minor 3rd, and you're going to think, now what would that be if that were a chord from the C major scale? It would be a C, it would be a D minor, or a D minor 7, but we can make it a 6, and if we made it a D minor 6 chord, okay, then, like for example here, and then we looked at we took that D off and put it on top. You look at those notes again, what do you got there? Oh, you have that B minor 7 flat 5 again. Wow. Okay, so what that means is then if you're playing the minor 6/9 arpeggio, and you're playing it over, and you hear this chord here, minor 7 flat 5, what do? You go up a minor 3rd, you go up to the 3rd of that chord, and play your arpeggio. So you're thinking, and there's the D minor 6/9, or I think I just played a D minor 9 there, arpeggio, and that would substitute for that chord. So the rule in a major key, and you're thinking of how to play a minor arpeggio, or minor 6, minor 6/9. What do I use it for? Well, you can use it over the 7 chord, and here is a really cool thing too. You can go to the 2. If somebody's on the 2 chord, then you play it from the 3rd of, excuse me, I said that wrong. You can play it over the 2 chord. Okay. Okay, so that equals that. There's that one. I'll come back more to this at a later date, because there's a lot more substitutions involved in this particular thing. But for right now, you can think of it like that.